You ever wonder why some older men, grey in their beard, slower in step, can still make younger women hang on to every word they say? While younger guys hustle, try too hard and fumble, these older men barely lift a finger and still win. It's frustrating, right? You're grinding, working on your body, your goals, your game. But then some dude in his 40s or 50s walks in, calm as still water, and suddenly she's laughing at his jokes, touching his arm, leaning in closer. What the hell is going on? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what they're doing differently, and more importantly, how you can do it too. I'll reveal 7 flirting tactics older men use that younger men miss. These tricks aren't about manipulation, they're about self-awareness, masculine energy, and psychological control. This matters, not just because you want to attract women, but because the man who masters this also masters himself. He stops chasing, he stops craving validation, and he becomes the kind of man who naturally commands respect from women and from other men. Most guys get it all wrong. They think attraction is about being flashy, funny, or smooth, but older men know better. It's not about being loud, it's about being solid. It's not about chasing, it's about being unshakable. Let me tell you something that might sting a bit. Women aren't turned on by your hustle, they're turned on by your presence. And that's where the older man wins. He knows how to sit in silence and still speak volumes. Imagine this. You're in a cafe. She walks in, young, vibrant, scanning the room. Most guys shift in their seat, adjust their posture, maybe flash a smile. The older man, he barely glances up. He's reading a book. Calm, collected, unbothered. That stillness, that restraint, is magnetic. Why? Because it signals something primal. It says, I don't need you to feel whole. And that, right there, is the first sign of real masculine power. Stoicism teaches us, control your emotions, or they will control you. That older man, he's not reacting. He's observing. He's letting her chase the attention. Now listen carefully. You don't need grey hair to do this. You need composure. You need silence that speaks. You need the confidence to do less and let her feel more. Let's keep going. The second trick? It'll flip everything you thought about flirting on its head. Ready? Now here's the second powerful trick older men use. They speak slowly and with intent. Most guys, especially younger ones, talk fast when they're nervous. They blurt things out, hoping to impress, hoping to be liked. It's like they're racing against time, trying to win her over before she loses interest. But older men, they take their damn time. Every word is deliberate. Every pause is powerful. They don't fill silence. They own it. And here's why it works. When you speak slowly, you force her to lean in, to listen, to wonder what's coming next. She starts thinking, this guy's different. He's not trying to prove anything. He's just grounded. Let me paint a picture. She's laughing at some guy's joke across the room. He's animated, energetic, throwing punchlines like candy. She's entertained, but her eyes flicker to the older man sitting beside her. He looks at her, holds her gaze, and says in a calm, deep voice, "You're trouble, aren't you?" Just like that. Boom. Shift in the air. She's intrigued. She suddenly forgets the clown to her left. Now she's focused on the man who didn't try to win her, because that's the man who could. Most men misunderstand flirting. They think it's a performance. But the truth? Flirting is a power exchange. And the man who controls the pace controls the game. This is a Stoic principle in disguise, restraint over reaction. A Stoic man doesn't rush. He doesn't beg. He doesn't act out of impulse. He chooses his timing. In flirting, that means speak half as much. Slow down your delivery. Let your words breathe. Because when you speak with certainty, she feels it. Your voice becomes a command, not a question. And inside, she's thinking, what's his story? Why doesn't he seem fazed by me? What does he know that I don't? You want her curious. Mystery fuels attraction. And silence, calculated, confident silence, is one of the most seductive tools you have. So here's your move. Next time you talk to a woman, pause before you answer. Lock eyes. Lower your voice. Say less, but mean every word. Remember, the storm makes noise. The mountain stands silent. Ready for trick number 3? It's something almost no man uses, but it's devastatingly effective. Let's keep going. Here's the third flirting trick older men use, and it's deadly effective. They flirt with their eyes more than their words. Understand this. Attraction doesn't begin with a pickup line. It begins with the look, that subtle glance, that steady gaze that holds her for just a second too long. Younger guys often avoid eye contact, or they overdo it, staring too hard, too fast, making it awkward. But the seasoned man, he's mastered the art of presence. He knows eye contact isn't just looking, it's leading. Let me break it down. She walks into the room. He notices but doesn't chase. She sits nearby. He looks up slowly, meets her eyes, holds it. Not with a creepy stare, not with a grin, just a calm, curious look that says, I see you. I'm not impressed yet, but you've got my attention for now. That moment, that's the spark. Why? Because that kind of eye contact is rare. Most men either look away or try too hard to impress. But this is different. It's powerful. It's non-verbal dominance. And here's what she feels inside. Who is this man? Why isn't he reacting like other guys? Why do I feel exposed? Women are masters at reading micro-signals. They notice your blink rate, your tension, your hesitation. So when your eyes are steady, calm, grounded, it speaks directly to her subconscious. This man is safe. This man is strong. This man is in control of himself. That's pure Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your inner world is calm, your eyes will reflect it. If your thoughts are chaotic, your eyes will betray you. So control your eyes. Use them with intent, not to ogle, not to beg, but to signal. Now listen carefully. You can flirt with your eyes from across the room. You can flirt without saying a damn word. And when done right, it makes her feel like she's being chosen, not hunted. Big difference. So your challenge, practice calm eye contact. Hold it. Don't break first. Let the silence do the work. Let her feel your gaze. Because the man who controls his eyes controls the room. Now let's move to the fourth trick. It's subtle, psychological, and most younger guys never even think of it. The fourth trick, older men flirt by creating contrast. Not through loud outfits or flashy stories, but through energy. They carry a calm, masculine stillness in a world full of noise, and that contrast pulls her in like gravity. Let me explain. Younger guys often mirror the woman's energy. If she's bubbly, they get goofy. If she's cold, they try harder. They adjust to fit her vibe. But the older man, he anchors. He doesn't chase her mood. He defines the room. She can be high energy, dramatic, even flirty. But when she's around him, she slows down. She softens. She shifts from chaotic to curious. Why? Because masculine energy creates polarity. She's drawn to his calm. She feels safe in it, curious about it, almost confused by it. Imagine this. She's laughing loudly at a table, surrounded by other girls. Music's playing, lights flashing, everyone's caught in the moment. Then he walks in. No big smile, no flat, shy move, just presence, confidence, quiet dominance. He doesn't try to join the chaos, he stands outside it. And suddenly, the chaos wants him. This is psychological warfare in the world of attraction, because when you show you're unmoved by her noise, you become the signal. She thinks, why doesn't he react like the others? What makes him so calm? Why do I feel like I'm the one being watched now? You flip the dynamic. You stop being the performer and become the prize. That's classic Stoicism in motion. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And in flirting, that means your energy must be yours, untouched, controlled, unshakable. Now listen carefully. You don't create contrast by faking confidence or pretending to be cold. You create it by being centered, by choosing your reactions, by holding space. And when a woman meets a man who won't dance to her tune, but makes her want to match his, that's unforgettable. That's addictive. So here's your challenge. Next time you enter a high-energy space, be the opposite. Don't compete, don't mirror. Just stand tall, breathe slow, and own the moment. That's flirting at a whole different level. Now, the fifth trick, it's old school, but devastating. Let's break it down. Now, here's the fifth trick. Older men flirt with subtle touch, but only when it's earned. This isn't about being handsy. It's not about creeping in for skin contact. No, this is about timing, control, and meaning. Younger guys rush it. They'll touch her too soon, too casually, or too often. It feels forced, desperate, like they're trying to create attraction instead of revealing it. But the older man, he knows the touch is the reward, not the opener. Let me show you how this works. He's talking to her. There's a calm vibe. He's teasing her, lightly, confidently. She laughs. She leans in. And right then, he touches her elbow, light, intentional, then pulls back. No lingering, no accidents, just a signal. That tiny move, it lands harder than any cheesy line because it comes from a place of earned confidence. She feels it like a jolt, not because of the touch itself, but because it was measured. Restraint before reward. She thinks, he doesn't touch like other men. Why did that feel different? And that's the point. It's not about the act, it's about what it represents. See, older men understand something younger guys often miss. Attraction is built through tension, through space, through the power of almost. It's like a bow being drawn back. The longer the pull, the more powerful the shot. And touch? That's the release. Now listen carefully. Stoicism is built on control, mastery of impulse. When a man can want to touch, choose not to, and still keep her emotionally locked in, that's power. That's dominance. Because she starts thinking, why hasn't he made a move? Is he not into me? I need to get closer to this man. And the more she thinks, the deeper the hook. Your challenge: touch less, mean more. Let your presence do 90% of the work. Let her lean in, let her break the space. And when you do touch, make it intentional, controlled, slow. Then pull away. Make her miss it. That's masculine tension. That's stoic flirting. All right, ready for the sixth trick? It's about language, but not the kind you're used to. Let's go. Here's the sixth trick. Older men flirt through suggestion, not explanation. They don't overshare, they don't ramble about their lives, they drop hints, they plant ideas, and they let her imagination do the heavy lifting. Younger guys think they need to prove themselves. They'll say, "I've got a great job. I work out 5 times a week. I travel a lot." The older man, he says, "I've learned that time alone sharpens the mind." Or, "I've been to places I don't talk about on the first date." Boom. Now she's leaning in. Now she's wondering. Now her mind is filling in the blanks. That's flies. Shooting at the psychological level, that's control without trying. Because here's the truth. Women are emotional storytellers. If you give her the frame, she'll fill it with fantasy. And fantasy is far more powerful than fact. Listen. He's not telling her his income. He's telling her how he values time. He's not bragging about past lovers. He's making her wonder if she's different. He's not chasing her approval. He's showing her how rare it is to get his. She thinks, who is this man really? What's he holding back? What would it feel like to be the woman he opens up to? And that question burns hotter than any compliment ever could. That's the beauty of restraint. That's Stoicism applied to seduction. Seneca said, "Speech is silver, but silence is golden." The wise man knows. Say enough to spark the flame, but never enough to satisfy the fire. So here's your challenge. Drop hints. Let her dig. Let her earn pieces of your story. Never give the full picture too soon. Because the most attractive man in the room, he's not the loudest. He's the one who leaves women curious. You want her lying awake wondering what you're thinking. That's the flirt. That's the game. Now, you've got 6 powerful tools, but the 7th, the one that ties them all together, that's the most important. And it's not a trick. It's an energy. Let's finish strong.